We're going to take a look at the math centers for this week. This is something that the students in class will be working on throughout the week. So you'll notice the due date is not until Friday. You have all week to work on this. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the assignment in Google Slides. Since this assignment is in Google Slides, you do not have to save your work. It's automatically going to save what you've done for you. But I want to talk about a few things that you can do while you are working in Google Slides. So you'll notice the first thing here on the title page has your name. When you click in the box, make sure that you see the blinking line. That tells you it's your cursor, and you can erase where it says type to put your name. And let's look at what happens if I accidentally click that and don't have that blinking cursor and I go to backspace. It's deleted my text box. So I have a couple options to get that back. You can use the undo button up here on your toolbar at the top. You can hit that, or you can use the Control and the Z key on your keyboard at the same time, and that will get your text box back. That's very, very beneficial when you're working in Google Slides, and if you accidentally delete something, that's how you can get it back. But you need to note that it's only going to undo the last thing you did. So if you notice you delete something, you need to immediately undo that action. Otherwise, you may have to end up undoing some other work before you can get back what you have lost. So pay careful attention as you're working through these. Let's go ahead and look at the next page at the directions. The directions will always be at the top of the slide, and most of them are going to have you do one of two things. So some of them will have you type, and you'll see the areas you need to type in will be highlighted, and they'll either have the pound, hashtag, whatever you want to call this symbol, to show number. If you see that symbol that's commonly now referred to as the hashtag, that's telling you that you need to type a number as your answer. Or if you see a box that with the word type, that's where you're going to be typing numbers, words, or equations for your answer. The other type of things that you might have to do in these centers are dragging and dropping. So if you see things like this in the second box over here, if you see those objects, you'll need to click on them and drag them to where they belong. You'll do that by clicking and holding down your mouse and dragging it over to where you want it to go, and then when you release it will drop it where it belongs. So the very first center activity that you have is looking for missing numbers. You need to match the equation with the missing number that matches to make the equation true. This will be a drag and drop center. Now, it's very important. The purpose of this activity is for you to add to your knowledge and to practice the skills you know. This is not calculator work. Those of you who are choosing to use a calculator on your work, that's cheating. That's really the only way to put it, is it's cheating, and it's not helping you. The purpose of these activities is to help you build your math skills, not your parents, not your sisters or brothers. The purpose is for you to get better. So you're the only one in charge of that, but remember that honesty goes a long way. So make sure that you're doing your work, and I'm always here for questions. You can send private comments on the assignment, you can email me, or have your parents send me a dojo message. So on this one, once again, you're dragging and dropping the correct answer into the equation. All of the answers are there, so if you mess up somewhere and you get an answer that's not listed, then you'll need to rework that problem. Kind of gives you a good checkpoint there. Okay, so the next activity is called Roll a Problem. If you have dice at home, you can use the dice to roll, or you can use this dice button here. It says click to roll. If you'll click on that, then you can open this link and it will automatically roll your 4 dice for you. So my numbers are 2, 6, 5, and 3. So then I'm going to go back and I'll put those numbers in, 2, 6, 5, and 3. And then I will use those to answer the questions in steps 1, 2, and 3. So I do want you to notice that step 1 tells you to use all 4 digits. So all 4 of the numbers that you rolled, you're going to use to make the largest value number that you can and the lowest value number that you can. It's not asking you what number is the biggest. If I did that, I could say 6 was the largest, but that's not what it's asking me. It's asking you to use all 4 of those numbers that you rolled. So I'm going to use the 2, the 6, the 5, and the 3. I'm going to rearrange those numbers so that I can make the largest possible number and then the smallest number. And of course, yours will be different based on what you roll. And if you notice the second part, you have to do that same thing again. So if I go back to my dice roller, I can click this button that says roll again. And it gives me a new set of numbers to repeat on the second portion. Okay. And then lastly, the third slide is word problems. So you're going to read the problems and solve, and then you'll type your answers in. Now those are a little small, so remember you have the zoom tool up here on your toolbar. You can click on it, and then if I click where I want it to zoom in, that makes it larger. I can go back to my select tool so that I'll be ready to type. Make sure once again when you're typing in your answers that you have that blinking cursor before you hit the backspace or delete button. Okay, so once again, you have all week to finish those. So pace yourself. It's not something you have to sit down and do all at once. You also need to work through lessons in Zearn. This week, you'll need to do at least 2 lessons from where you're at. And I'll send you individual messages with what lessons you're going to need to complete to be caught up. So those are the things that we're doing in math rotations that are not the actual lesson during the teacher groups. So remember, those are for practice. All of these things that I'm assigning to you are for practice. It's not just busy work. It's things to help you become a better student and to be successful in life. So make sure that you're doing your best work. If you need help, certainly asking for help there's nothing wrong with that, but having someone else do your work or using a calculator or typing in equations on the computer for answers, asking Alexa or Siri, those things are not going to make you a better student. So make sure that you're being honest. And if you have any questions, feel free, let me know. Have a good day.